so Raja and I are going to do a session on eco-anxiety. Neither of us are experts on this topic, but it's something that we want to learn more about as professionals. So for those who I haven't spoken to, I'm an environmental scientist in my academic life, and in my professional life, I work in environmental policy for the UK government. So eco-anxiety comes up a lot, and actually it prevents a lot of action within the community because people tend to feel that, you know, what's the point, basically. So it's a topic that I would like to explore with Radha, because Radha is also a professional.
Yeah, so I'm a psychologist. I studied psychology, and I've been practicing, my speciality is CBT and bipolar. But we've got a range of problems. So we deal with depression, anxiety, low self-esteem. So I can talk a bit about eco-anxiety and how to have self-care. Because I feel like psychological knowledge, you don't need psychologists. I feel like if psychologists can teach you, you'll be good on your own if you just know how to use the model and how to use the theory in your everyday life.
So one of the things we wanted to just kind of ask the room, I know obviously I've been trying to listen and hear, you know, how people are feeling, and even just this morning I heard people walk in and talk about, you know, oh my gosh, my carbon footprint's so high, and oh, we shouldn't have done this. You know, it's very clear that there is some feelings of guilt in the room, which is fine, but I wanted to kind of understand, what do you think eco-anxiety is? So just, yeah.
In my opinion, I've never heard the concept. Sounds interesting to know about the anxiety, but it's the idea of like, I think I could sometimes feel like that, like I'm doing some actions that I know that are polluting the world in some way really much, but I continue doing them because I'm used to, maybe, or because I don't want to change my habits. And this is it.
I think maybe it's like feeling overwhelmed by like how the world's going, the trajectory of like emissions, like feeling like it's all part of government, so it's all like out of your hands. Like, yeah, I can be like vegetarian, not take flights, but it's still like not gonna change the world, but it's still really fucked kind of thing. So it's really like terrified by that.
Yeah. Anyone else? Okay, so eco-anxiety is quite a new term, so it's understandable that, you know, many of you haven't heard of it, but you probably have these emotions, and maybe it prevents you from doing things. It maybe gives you burnout. So I have the definition.
Oh,
such a So the definition of eco-anxiety that's most widely known now across the world and within psychology is extreme worry about current and future harm to the environment caused by humans and by climate change. And this is quite a broad definition, but really it affects people completely differently in different parts of the world, as we'll talk about later. But I've just put a few symptoms here: sadness and stress. But does anybody else have any ideas what other symptoms may be, or maybe you feel it yourself?
You know, the effect of this, not exactly eco, but what happened from COVID-19. Not many people talk about it, but I think in every country, there's been a lot of young people that have taken their lives.
Yeah.
Because they see no future, they've lost their jobs, they can't pay their bills, they're in debt, they've educated themselves, but like they're overqualified. Sometimes you have to remove all your master's degrees or whatever and put like high school only just to get a job, or else, you know, overqualified. And they're taxi drivers who are economists, who are PhDs, they're driving buses. You know, it's like, what kind of a future is this? I've got like a debt to pay for my degree, and now I'm driving a bus. So, and people, a lot of young people can't deal with it, especially with COVID, because you can't communicate, you can't talk to nobody, and they've taken their lives. And not many countries even maintain a database of that, but it's huge, much more than actual COVID deaths, a lot more.
I think also related to COVID, it's really important to realize that we were all in lockdown, And during lockdown, we weren't out and about, and us just being out and about pollutes the environment. So I know there was a lot of people that really who care about the environment and are very conscious that felt very anxious coming out of lockdown purely because they were like, oh, these 2 years were good because at least the carbon emissions went down a little bit. So yeah, that's also related to like the impacts of COVID-19.
Yes.
Does anybody else? Can anybody think of any more symptoms?
Maybe it's linked with a couple of years and pandemic. I feel like burned out, yes, because I have so much information available to everything that's happened and there's plus the stress and the sadness and the situations. Maybe that I feel exhausted. Not just but in any aspect of on the life.
I would call that an information tsunami. You cannot
Yes,
process.
yes.
It's too much.
It's too much. It's too much.
Yeah.
I think some of the other symptoms that relate to burnout is maybe like demotivation. Like, you hear all these scary facts and you're like, well, what's the point? So I'd say demotivation is that. Insomnia. It's really common actually. 25 to 50% of women who experience eco-anxiety don't sleep. Worry.
Bad thoughts.
Don't worry, after all these sad things, we will do some nice things.
No, it's just like negative
Together.
negative thoughts.
Yeah.
Self.
I was gonna say just constantly feeling guilty.
Does anyone feel really guilty about the past?
Yeah.
It's okay, don't worry.
Maybe
Sorry? Isolation.
Broken relationships.
Yes.
Yeah.
Live inside.
Does anybody feel like they have to do more all the time?
Yeah.
Like overcommitment?
Yeah.
Okay, I do. Any more? Okay, good. We'll ignore all this now. One of the things I wanted to do before Raja's session, she's going to run a small session on how you can combat these feelings, because it is all completely normal. See, I feel like everybody in the room has probably felt like this. So I thought it would be really interesting to do, to read out some statements, and you can say whether you agree with the statement or disagree. And something I think also to keep in mind is because we have people here from different cultures. I mean, for example, in Peru, eco-anxiety isn't just feeling sad, it's feeling scared, because you're at more risk from, horrible people. So I think something like that to keep in mind. So for example, if somebody really agrees with the statement and you think, no, actually, I feel fine, I don't feel like this, that's okay, you can go to the other side. So I'll read out these statements, and if you really agree with it, you strongly agree, come to 1. If you really disagree with the statement, go to number 5. And if you're in the middle, you can go 2 through 4. So you can all stand up. Okay, ready? The first statement is natural disasters make me concerned for my safety and the safety of others around me. This 1 is I really agree, strongly agree. 5 is disagree. Okay, there's a lot of people in number 1. Does anybody want to elaborate? Does anyone want to talk about why they're at number 1?
Yeah, I think with natural disasters, obviously that's so out of our control, and it's just sort of the earth reacting to everything that we've done, and it's just that feeling of being like, oh my god, I really cannot do anything.
Off that point, I think it's that guilt that you feel about all the things that we've done in the past and how it's impacting now, and it's not impacting me, it's impacting Peru and Asia and all of those sorts of places because of all the things that we've done. And that makes me sad and anxious and everything.
It's an interesting perspective, actually. Okay. The next one is I feel bad about how I travelled here.
Really?
Especially if I travel a lot. When I travel a lot, it's constant.
Anyone number 5 want to elaborate? Why do you disagree with how? Did you feel good about how you travelled here? Do you disagree?
I feel efficient.
Efficient.
And my time is really short on Earth. I feel efficient.
Anybody in the middle?
I feel bad, but at the same time no. Because I meant to go with an airplane, so it was like, but at the same time it's like, well, if I was gonna agree with that plan, what I say, no, I want to go by car or I want to ride a horse, something like that, right? It's like I like my being safe, so it's like why I didn't think about it. I only just go to the plane and I come here and it's like now I'm thinking more about all the things that I'm doing. It's like, oh my god. What I'm doing here, right? And I agree with you. I'm not sure I'm still less time here. Maybe tomorrow I can die, and I don't know, and I maybe do nothing. So I have to think and take care about it.
And anybody over here?
Well, Mariam and myself talk about this. We said how fun it is to go to talk about sustainability and what will be our for just 4 days. And we were like, well, myself, I was like, it's like I want to go, but the plane is going to go up anyway without me, so I better take it. So, but still the
For me, I'm in the middle because I think our success, whether we feel bad or good, is the impact we create when we go home collectively as 44 people here. If we do nothing, then our whole trip here will be worthless. All the time, all the knowledge we've shared, zero. But even if we take a small action, no matter how small it is, to talk to another person who couldn't be here with us and change their lives because they're so depressed and so sad, but you give them a little bit of sunshine, then personally I would feel better because I would truly think that the impact we've created together collectively, sharing, listening, absorbing, and transmitting into real action would be great. But I'm in the middle because I don't know until we get the report from all of you when you do get back home on what you've done.
That's a hint.
In my opinion, I in the number 5 because I think that my English is very low, but I think that we can do a lot of things to change our system. For example, from 2 years ago in Spain and all around the world, we were confined. We were in our house and we can't go out. And in Guardamar, in our city, is a city near the beach. When that period finished, all the beach were plenty of fishes, were plenty of dolphins, tortugas have eggs in the beach. And for me, the main way is propitiate one situation that the people respect the nature, and with our system, with our life, that is impossible. I don't know if I am very negative, but I think we aprovechamos this opportunity to be here and to share knowledge and
ideas.
Yes.
I think I'm here because I travel a lot and it's constant hate I have that I am traveling, but I think it's about balance as everything is in life. And I think the way we've urbanly developed is that we don't consider how to offset. So now we're talking a lot about offsetting, but it's a practice as old as time. Like when they used to do farming, they used to not just use one piece of land, you'd spread it across different areas so the soil gets time to really mineralize. Same with fishing, small fishing communities are actually doing this sustainably. So it's not so much the travel, but you still feel really bad because the way in which you can actually offset it, which is the term now, is very difficult. You said plane's still gonna go, right? So it's about the impact and collaborative feeling that it is possible for you to live this lifestyle and do things, but there are options you can choose, not flying business class or taking a private jet and going where you can, but it still feels crap.
Okay, so the next one, this one's a little bit strange, but I think, for those of us who don't have children, it's a conversation I've heard a lot. So I'm scared to have children because of the ecological states of the world.
Consider me there too. I'm just before you.
Okay, should we start with someone in the middle?
Why don't you go first?
I was in the past scared, but I'm glad I ¿cómo se dice? Made the step forward, and now I have a different mind. So we can work together to change this.
Thank you. Anybody on the agree side? Disagree side?
I'm afraid to have kids for many reasons. Lots of different reasons. But how the environment's going to be for 20 years doesn't really come into my brain, really, when I'm thinking about that.
Yeah. And someone from this side? Not Bruno.
It's funny we said that because I think I'm quite the opposite. I feel like I was really conscious about the environment because I thought, oh my god, what would I tell my kids, our kids, as to what I've done for climate action and things like that. And I'm scared for their future more than my own.
Yeah. Okay. The next one is I can't live 100% eco-friendly because of my finances.
puedes.
Yeah, of course.
I feel like everyone's in the middle on this one, and I probably feel the same. Would anybody like to elaborate?
It's possible even 100% because but no, it's not a reality. Well, if I try to guess, because my family comes from Guarada, Cayaba, they are farmers, so they literally 100% life eco-friendly. They don't smoke because they don't know what is a cigarette. They don't use cars because they don't have cars. They just riding horses. So, sorry. They're horses, and in that way, it's like, sorry, I'm forgetting. Another thing is like, they can't do it, and when I go there, I feel like, oh my God, I can live a very beautiful life, being in peace with nature. But at the same time, well, I want to get a burger, well, I'm going to go to a party, I don't know, it's something where I'll wear a dress. There are no made bamboo plants, so it's like, it's too difficult to me. I can choose it, but it's like too hard to do because all my life I lived in the big city. So for me, it's like, I can do it, but why would I want to ride? So I feel bad because I can choose it. I can be like in peace with nature, I don't know, with all the farm and animals. From my brothers. So it's like why I don't do it right, and I would like to change my mind about it.
I think I preach something called sustainable capitalism, and sustainable capitalism is being aware of the impact that your money has on you. That's exactly what it does, right? But the moment you are at least aware the impact that a capitalistic system has on you, you become more aware and you change your behavior a little bit. But there is no. Some people say you have to be like really zero net carbon, and some people they say that money will fix everything. But I think sustainable capitalism is a key concept in a couple of years in the future.
And the last one is, I think that we can all take collective action together, no matter how big or small.
Oh.